Could Russia really launch a nuclear weapon into orbit this year? This question, posed by American intelligence agencies, has stirred up a storm of controversy and speculation worldwide. Reports have surfaced, suggesting that our closest European allies have been warned about Russia's potential plans to send a nuclear weapon into orbit. And if these reports are to be believed, this could very well happen within the year. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a twist in the tale. Russia might not launch an actual nuclear weapon. Instead, it could send a harmless dummy warhead into orbit, a move designed to keep the West guessing about its true capabilities. This strategic ambiguity, if you will, is a classic power play aimed at maintaining an edge in the global power dynamics. In a world already riddled with geopolitical tensions, this announcement has understandably triggered a wave of concern. After all, the implications of a nuclear weapon in orbit are far-reaching and potentially catastrophic. But is there a need for panic? Not just yet. It's crucial to remember that these are potential plans, possibilities, not certainties. This controversial announcement has prompted American intelligence officials to spring into action. As details of their assessment of Russia's intentions began to leak out, they've conducted a series of rushed, classified briefings. The audience? Their NATO and Asian allies. The objective? To share their findings and strategize on the best response. As the details of the American assessment of Russia's intentions began to leak out, a series of rushed, classified briefings for their NATO and Asian allies were conducted. This is where we stand today at the precipice of uncertainty, watching and waiting for what comes next. American intelligence agencies are sharply divided in their opinion about what President Vladimir V. Putin is planning, a statement that perfectly captures the current state of affairs. These agencies, tasked with safeguarding American interests, are at odds over the intentions of Russia's president. On one side of the divide, some believe that Putin might indeed launch a nuclear weapon into orbit. This camp, however, is not unanimous in its belief. Some suggest that Putin might just launch a harmless dummy warhead, leaving the West in a state of suspense about Russia's true capabilities. On the other side, skeptics argue that the intelligence warning could be a ploy, manufactured to sway Congress into authorizing more aid for Ukraine. This skepticism stems from Putin's vehement denial of any plans to place a nuclear weapon in orbit. In a recent meeting with his defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, Putin made his stand clear. He stated, "Russia has always been categorically against placing nuclear weapons in space." He emphasized Russia's respect for the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, a global agreement that prohibits weaponizing space, including the placement of nuclear weapons in orbit. This divide within American intelligence agencies mirrors the larger global uncertainty surrounding Russia's intentions. The situation is a complex chess game, with each move capable of dramatically shifting the balance of power. Yet, amid this division and uncertainty, one thing remains clear: the world is watching closely, waiting to see what move Russia will make next. In a meeting with his defense minister, Putin insisted that Russia had always been categorically against placing nuclear weapons in space, respecting the 1967 Outer Space Treaty. Whether this statement holds true in the face of unfolding events, only time will tell. Mr. Putin has made no secret of his interest in upgrading Russia's Cold War-era delivery systems. In fact, he has been quite vocal about it. It seems Putin is keen on not just maintaining but enhancing Russia's nuclear prowess. A vital part of this strategy involves modernizing Russia's delivery systems, many of which are relics from the Cold War era. An essential piece in this strategic puzzle is the Tu-160M strategic bomber. Putin himself recently toured an aviation factory and climbed into the bomb bay of this bomber, the most modern in the Russian fleet. Capable of reaching the United States, this bomber is designed to carry 24 nuclear weapons, showcasing the significant role Russia's nuclear arsenal plays in the country's defenses. But Putin's ambitions don't stop at updating old hardware. He has also been advertising a fleet of new weapons that are still in development. One such weapon that has garnered attention is the unmanned Poseidon nuclear torpedo. This autonomous weapon is designed to cross the Pacific without human control and explode on the west coast of the United States. The development of such a weapon signifies a bold step towards a new era of nuclear warfare. While these advancements can be seen as a testament to Russia's military innovation, they also raise important questions. The Poseidon torpedo, for instance, represents a shift towards automated warfare, which brings with it a host of ethical and strategic considerations. Moreover, the development and testing of these new weapons have not been without mishaps. However, Russia has been less transparent about the accidents that have accompanied the testing of these new weapons. This lack of transparency raises concerns about the safety protocols in place and the potential risks these new weapons might pose, both to Russia and the global community. As we delve further into this issue, it's crucial to consider the broader implications these developments could have on international relations and global security. But a space weapon would be different. This statement rings true as we delve into the unique nature of such a weapon. Unlike the conventional arsenal designed to target cities or military sites on Earth, a space weapon would nest inside a satellite. Its purpose? To destroy swarms of commercial and military satellites circulating alongside it in low Earth orbit. This capability paints a picture of an entirely new battlefield, a war fought not on land, sea, or air, but in the very heavens above us. With such a weapon, the potential for disruption in global communication capabilities is immense. Imagine a world where satellites that are central to our daily lives, those that facilitate everything from weather forecasting to GPS navigation, are rendered useless in an instant. The implications are far-reaching, affecting not just the everyday individual, but entire nations and their defense systems. Reflect, for instance, on Ukraine's ability to connect its government, military, and leadership over Starlink. This played a critical role in the country's survival after the Russian invasion 2 years ago. The mere existence of a space weapon capable of disrupting such vital communication links presents an alarming scenario. Now, let's consider the strategic advantage such a weapon could offer. By simply placing a nuclear weapon into orbit, a nation could instill a sense of fear and uncertainty in its adversaries. This is where the notion of deterrence comes into play. American officials have said that Putin may believe that the mere threat of massive disruption might infuse his nuclear arsenal with a new kind of deterrent. This introduces a novel perspective on nuclear deterrence, one that transcends the traditional understanding of mutual assured destruction. It's no longer about the obliteration of cities or military sites, but about the potential to disrupt, to destabilize, and to instill fear through the mere threat of doing so. It's about control, not just of the land, but of the vast expanse of space that surrounds our planet. So, what does this all mean for the global stage? We have stepped into a new era, where the potential for nuclear warfare extends beyond Earth's atmosphere, into the vast expanse of space. The recent US intelligence reports suggest that Russia may be planning to launch a nuclear weapon into orbit, a development that is as alarming as it is controversial. Yet within the American intelligence community, opinions are divided. Some believe this is a genuine threat, others consider it a strategic bluff. What remains undebated is the fact that President Putin has been vocal about upgrading Russia's Cold War-era delivery systems. From modernizing strategic bombers to unveiling new weapons, the nation's military prowess seems to be on an upward trajectory. If the reports are accurate, a space weapon could soon join this arsenal. Unlike traditional nuclear weapons aimed at cities or military sites, a space weapon would target commercial and military satellites in low Earth orbit. These satellites play a pivotal role in global communication systems. The disruption of these systems would not only affect military operations, but could also have devastating impacts on the world economy, technology, and daily life. Imagine for a moment a world where communication as we know it is disrupted. Financial transactions, global positioning systems, weather forecasting, all could be affected. The mere threat of such chaos could serve as a powerful deterrent in the hands of any nation. However, it's important to remember that the Outer Space Treaty of 1967 prohibits weaponizing space, including the placement of nuclear weapons in orbit. Violating this treaty could lead to international retaliation, adding yet another layer of complexity to this already intricate geopolitical puzzle. As the world watches closely, the next moves by Russia and the international response could shape the future of warfare and diplomacy. The stakes are high and the implications far-reaching. Will we see a return to Cold War-era brinkmanship, or will diplomacy prevail? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the game of international politics just got a whole lot more complicated.